everyone, and welcome. I'm Oriel Morrison-Higgins. Looking forward today to chatting to Mitch Thomas, the CEO of Solis Minerals. Mitch, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yep, great to see you, Oriel.
Now, you've got some drilling kicking off. So before we talk about that timeline, can you take us through and update us on your activities over the past month? Because you guys have been busy.
It's been very busy. So look, it's been about a month since we announced this acquisition, and look, the two main targets are Mandacaru and Campo Grande. And for those that maybe missed the announcement, these are two projects that are proximate to, PLS, the large Australian producer of hard rock lithium. We've got Sigma Lithium, Lithium Ionic, and Atlas. So we're in a very, very good postcode. But in terms of the momentum and the work that we've been doing over the past months, it's been extensive. So there's about 5 on the ground at the moment. We've been mapping the pegmatites. So we have our LIBS machine, which is used to scan the rocks and test the mineralization. The really important task for us is determining that orientation of the pegmatites, because that will really, guide our drilling. But in parallel to that, we've done land access. We've selected a diamond drilling partner. So it's been a very productive month for the team, and that all leads into drilling in June 2026, which is exciting.
That is exciting, and just around the corner, of course, as well. What do you think? I mean, this is a very difficult question to answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What do you think that you're going to find? What are you expecting to find at Mandacaru when the drills do start to turn?
Yeah, so look, Mandacaru is an advanced target. So look, we were very fortunate to purchase the projects when we did. It was a very, good timing. Lithium was just about to have an upswing. So look, we think we got a very good deal. And the benefit of that is that we got a lot of information from Rio Tinto, who was the former owner. And the benefit of that is that as we've released, we've got soils, rock chips, auger assays that we can really use to vector in and to help us, achieve our objectives. So to answer your question, the absolute ideal case is that we intersect, thick pegmatites below the surface that host spodumene. So that is the case for us. And given the surface footprint and expression that we're seeing, look, we're confident that we'll have success.
You mentioned Rio Tinto's involvement. Now, you actually have the former Rio Tinto geologist who originally, as I understand it, identified the targets, supporting your team on the ground as it stands right now. What does this say to you in terms of the quality of the targets that this particular geologist is still involved?
Yeah, so look, Brazil is a mining country, probably as much, if not more than Australia. And when news of this acquisition, was announced, we managed to get in contact with this guy who was the senior geologist doing the work for Rio Tinto exploration on the ground. And look, geos tend to think very fondly of the project that they've helped discover and advanced. And historically, he spent about 3 years looking in this project area. So for us, what that means is that, one, we're getting this extensive experience that can really help us fine tune and refine our drilling strategy. But for our shareholders, it means we save a lot of time. So, his 3 years, probably buys us, 6 to 12, maybe 18 months of surface work. So he's been great supporting the team. He's also been very complimentary about the skill set that our team has. But overall, it's a very big positive for us. So we feel very fortunate.
Okay, Mitch, let's head over to Peru, to your copper project over there. You're fully permitted now. You're ready to drill. Tell us what your expectations and your timeline are here.
Yeah, so look, we have some very good projects in Peru. You mentioned Cinto, which now we have all the approvals for, and Cucho is advancing very well as well. So the copper focus is still kind of sitting there in parallel. The reception that we've had from the market in terms of the lithium projects that we've recently acquired has been very strong. So the focus for the near term is on those lithium targets from an exploration sense. But when the time is right, we will consider sequencing in those Cinto and Cucho copper projects because, as I mentioned, copper and lithium, very strong metals in this market, and the more opportunities for a large discovery for our shareholders, the better.
How hard is it to manage drill programs in two different countries at the same time?
Oh, look, it's manageable, to have, parallel projects. We have a very nimble and agile team. We will sequence these, back to back just to make sure that we're getting the absolute right focus, technically from a safety perspective and community. But when the time is right, we'll get these copper projects drilled. but the near-term focus is on Brazil and lithium.
And Mitch, just before I let you go, when do you think that we'll be hearing from you again? When are you likely to come back to the market with some results?
So I think the next large milestone will be the assays. And look, assay labs at the moment with metal prices are kind of back to back. So 6 to 8 weeks after starting drilling, we think we should have initial assays. I will potentially put LIBS results and visuals into the market before that, but the major milestone will be 6 to 8 weeks after drilling commencement.
Great. Excellent. Well, very exciting times. Mitch, looking forward to chatting to you again then.
Thanks very much. Speak soon.